Hello and welcome to International Cannabis Conversations, hosted by TRICHOMES.com and brought to you by the Global Cannabis Network Collective. I'm the co-founder, Jill Reddish, and I'm joined by Chris Day.
Hi, all. I am Jill's co-founder at the GCNC, and our company is Project Evolve. We're really appreciative to TRICHOMES.com for giving us the opportunity to host international cannabis conversations each week. I hope that you are as excited as we are about taking a look at the world of business in cannabis and talking to everybody about their challenges, the opportunities, and the way they've overcome what is frankly a very complicated but immensely intriguing business landscape.
Yeah, this show is going to host a whole bunch of just exceptional leaders throughout the world of cannabis business. We're going to dive into what makes them tick, what their goals and values and missions are, and find out from a leadership perspective, what are their challenges, what drives them, what gets them up in the morning, and tell you, our listeners who are interested in how the global cannabis market is developing, what you need to know about what's happening out there, how cannabis can make a positive impact on the world. There's a lot of ideas about conscious capitalism.
Medicinal cannabis research.
I totally ran out of things to say there.
It's fine. We're going to be talking about medicinal cannabis research, cultivation, ways to optimize crops, not only cannabis crops, but really some of the technology that's being developed in places like Israel is also transferable into other agricultural practices. I have been talking to a lot of our initial interviewees for our first couple of episodes. We're going to be visiting Israel, Mexico. We were talking to folks doing impact investing in Europe. And really, all of them have this combined goal of, yes, being successful business people, but also of changing the world in a way that helps lift all boats. So I look forward to our listeners coming along for the ride and being able to see not only what's happening in the business side, but also a little bit of the different kinds of cultures that exist within the cannabis landscape around the world. And Jill, I know the first couple will be co-hosting together and then trading off from time to time as the show progresses.
Yeah, we're both kind of going to take our turn traveling around the world because, we're launching this during the middle of a pandemic. Hopefully this show is going to outlast the pandemic so that maybe one day we'll be bringing you episodes on location from all around the world. But first, we're really excited to talk to some folks who are leading the charge for medicinal cannabis products out of Australia. We're going to talk to people who are really shaping the future of the South American market. And we're even going to hop over to Africa and talk to people who are throughout the South African region looking to revitalize economies down there. So we've got a lot of really interesting stuff from all around the world that I'm super excited about.
Yeah. And, Jill, I wanted to take a minute because this episode we get to actually talk a little bit about the origin of the idea and where this all came from. Both of us have been watching the growth of the cannabis landscape for the last several years, and it's rare in someone's life to see an industry essentially being built from scratch. And that's what we're all witnessing at this time. And I see the industry as really being one of true pioneers, people working hard to be successful, but also just build amazing things. I'm not sure we've seen the beginning of the truly great cannabis companies of the future. Maybe we have. But I think right now with this podcast, we're getting a chance to see the beginnings of a truly great and earth-changing industry emerging really out of the past, and now we're going to rewrite the future with it. Cannabis as a plant has so many different touch points. We've mentioned medicinal and pharmaceutical, but also it can touch fuels and construction, help optimize crop, and so much tech innovation is happening. So the good news is that, yes, this annoying pandemic, we got to mention it a couple of times just to anchor the moment in history. But when we look back at this episode, we'll say, holy cow, look how far both we and this industry have come in really changing the world. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to be doing it with you. And I know even the initial folks we already have lined up for the show are ecstatic to be part of it. So come along for the ride. Make sure you subscribe to the show and join us. We'll be coming out about every other week. And as we get into early 2021, it's slated to go weekly. So get on board, and we look forward to talking with you on a regular basis.
Come travel the cannabis world with us. Thanks, and see you online.